I came within a hair's breadth of getting rid of my blue jays last week. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. And as much as I have been loving this blue jays project and thought that I was going to get burned out on it sooner or later, I didn't expect what almost landed it in the deepest, darkest corner of my sewing room. I had planned to do a Flosstube update 2 weeks ago, and the night that I was planning on filming it was the first night of the ice storm. The ice storm threw our lives for a loop for a solid week. And by the time it was over, the idea of this project was really upsetting me. So I have been loving these ice-covered branches and the whole having a wintry project to stitch on during winter. Then the actual branches outside got icy, and it was no longer a pretty hypothetical I was thinking about from a distance. I can't remember which night it was. It has all kind of consolidated into a cold, dark blur. But my husband had driven our oldest son to work because better car for driving in the ice, more driving experience. Because he was running into the store to get some stuff, and because he was driving slower because of the road conditions. He was later than I expected him to be getting back. And all of a sudden, I was in bed, and there was a crash. And I swear I felt that crash. Something hit the house. And if you have watched my videos for a long time, you'll know that something hit the house is not a unique thing in my neck of the woods. But something hit the house, and I threw on some clothes, came out in the front room to make sure the ceiling was still at the top of the room, and it was. But I could see a flashlight outside. So whatever hit the house was dramatic enough that somebody was out there looking at the house, and for days our porch had had a 1-inch thick sheet of ice on it. So I knew I had to go outside in the dark to see what was going on. I could not figure out how I was going to do it without breaking my neck. And as I am waking up the other two boys to come out with me, because I'm not going alone, the flashlight was my husband. Everything was fine. It was a great big branch that didn't do any damage to the roof. But I was shaking so hard that I could not stop. That adrenaline rush, flight or fight, I was more terrified than I really want to be again anytime soon. And I spent the rest of the night convinced that a bigger branch was going to come down and kill us all, and telling myself that the one tree that I was worried about has been there longer than the Declaration of Independence. It will be longer on this planet than I am on this planet, and it's not going to come down on our heads. By the time I woke up in the morning, I really, really hated the idea of icy branches. I was done with this. We've been thawed out for about a week, and my feelings have mellowed. I am no longer as freaked out by ice as I was when ice was a reality. So early this morning, I stitched some more on the bird, and there is very, very little of this left to finish. So I'm going to see how I do with it over the next few days. My goal was to finish it by the end of January, which I may not hit because we got sidetracked. This storm was a bad one in my neck of the woods, and in other parts of the state, people died. So we came out of it relatively unscathed. We've got damage to one of the cars. We lost a water pipe that was an outside water pipe, so that's just annoyance and a little bit of money, but my nerves are not where they should be yet. While I was hating the blue jays, I did pull out down memory lane, and I worked some more on it. There is, with this tree and the roof line, there is a whole lot of counting on this stamped cross stitch. I think I want this to be my focus project for February. But like I said, I have been thrown for a loop, and my new planner for the year, I've gone through a couple times and tried to make sure that things are written where they need to be written, but it's not going as well as I would like. I'm trying to work out plans for the upcoming week, hopefully the upcoming months and year. And one thing I want to do is tackle those abandoned sock projects I talked about last time. I'm going to start the banana self-striping yarn as soon as I get done with Dark and Stormy, because this is the second sock of the pair and it maybe needs 2 more inches. Then I'm going to let myself start the banana ones because I have another pair of socks on a different set of needles, so I can do both at the same time. And while I was rummaging around in my stuff, I found this. I knew I had this. I just haven't pulled this out in forever. It is a much smaller version of that elephant grass basket that I got at the quilt show this summer, and I bought this one probably 15-18 years ago when I knew that I wanted one of the big ones, but the budget wasn't enough for one of the big ones, so I got a little one. There's enough room in here for a few pairs of socks in progress, and if they are in the pretty basket, the theory is that hopefully that will help me to pull out a pair when I just have a few minutes that I could be working on something. And there are a lot of situations where socks are easier to work on than counter cross stitch because I can maintain eye contact and have a conversation while working on socks. I can't do that while doing full coverage confetti stitching. I am still catching up on everything that transpired. Even it's been a week. I should be caught up. I am not. I'm getting there. I have plans. I hope that my plans stick, and I hope I'm able to follow through on them. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I am hoping I can get Blue Jays finished within the next couple of days, and I've got some other whips I want to pull out and work on. I'll be back with you with more videos soon.